Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Melinda Zosh.
And I am Martin Staunton. It's been 8 years since a U.S. government contractor for the National Security Agency leaked classified documents that rocked the U.S. intelligence community. Perhaps the most shocking of Edward Snowden's revelations was the existence of an NSA listening facility here in West Virginia.
And despite multiple reports that the NSA facility closed along with the Navy base in Pendleton County at Sugar Grove in 2016, our Annie Moore recently found the base is still in operation. As far back as we could research, the NSA has never spoken publicly on the site until now.
For all intents and purposes, this is the middle of nowhere. As I cross into the National Radio Quiet Zone, it appears you only see what the government wants you to see. Green Bank, the world's largest steerable radio telescope. Cell phones and Wi-Fi are restricted to limit interference with the telescope. And for some people, that ability to disconnect is part of the lure.
Nice and quiet, peaceful, no crime.
It was what drove journalist Stephen Kersey here to write his book, The Quiet Zone, unraveling the mystery of a town suspended in silence.
My distaste for this device kind of led me to West Virginia, where by state and federal laws, there are rules against having these cell phones, against having wireless devices.
While the Green Bank telescope has the ability to listen deep into the universe and monitor for the existence of extraterrestrial life, these satellites on the other side of the National Quiet Zone may be just as crucial, but their work is classified and shrouded in mystery. It's a star on the map 30 minutes northeast of Green Bank towards the Virginia border, but you won't find that map at the Green Bank bookstore. Even those who live near Sugar Grove are reluctant to talk about it.
No, I ain't never heard about it.
Never hear anything about them.
We don't hear nothing about that.
Up on the top of the hill, that's still operational.
You don't hear anything about it?
No, it's quiet.
How quiet?
Very quiet.
But even U.S. Senator Shelley Moore Capito acknowledges that something is going on up there.
Great majority of Sugar Grove was sold. I think some assets that were probably classified are still probably being used.
In Green Bank, it's about science. In Sugar Grove, it's about secret surveillance.
Both sites were built at the start of the Cold War, but with very different purposes. Kersey says Green Bank was built in a football shape, while Sugar Grove was built in a bowl.
The dish, the intent of it was to kind of point it at the moon and to be able to capture Soviet signals as they bounced up from the USSR and from satellite countries up to the moon, and they would, land in that dish in Sugar Grove, West Virginia.
He says the NSA started to take an interest around the 1980s before taking full control of the upper base. For years, their antennas ran largely under the radar.
The reason we know about how much they're swooping in and surveilling and the amount of data they're getting in is because of the leaks from Edward Snowden, about 10 years ago when he was a contractor for the NSA.
Those documents, as reported by The Intercept, claim the antennas were sweeping 1.8 million phone calls, texts, and other contacts a day.
There is this sense of you can go to the quiet zone to get away from being surveilled by the NSA. At the same time, you're actually literally in the shadow of the NSA and of those, spy antennas they have there.
Traveling through the quiet zone, there's an intangible sense that you're not alone. You don't need to be light years away to get the feeling here that someone, somewhere, is listening. Here for you at Sugar Grove, I'm Annie Moore, WVVA News.
Thank you, Annie. And we reached out to the NSA for more on the work that goes on at Sugar Grove. Just in the last couple hours, we received the following response from an NSA spokesperson.
And they've never commented before, like we said at the beginning of that piece. It says, quote, "The mission of Sugar Grove Research Station is to support communications research and development for the Department of Defense."
And meanwhile, if you're interested in learning more about the National Radio Quiet Zone or planning a trip for yourself, you can check out Kersey's book. It's called The Quiet Zone: Unraveling the Mystery of a Town Suspended in Silence. A Raleigh County man is arrested for murder after a fight in Crab Orchard on Friday. According to the complaint, Herbert Wayne